Epic DIY fail, smiley face emoji, wrench emoji. So last Saturday, my mom asked my dad to fix the leaky faucet in our kitchen. Now, my dad is the kind of guy who believes that DIY stands for definitely involving yelling. Still, he rolled up his sleeves, grabbed his trusty toolbox, which contains 3 screwdrivers, a mysterious wrench, and a collection of loose screws that seem to multiply when you're not looking, and set to work. My job, as always, was to assist, which mostly meant handing him tools and listening to a running commentary about how things were made better in the 1970s. The first sign things might go awry was when Dad called me over to ask if we had any faucet glue. I didn't think glue was involved, but he seemed confident, so off we went to the hardware store. This was trip number 1 of what would become a grand tour of every hardware store in a 10-mile radius. Each time, Dad would return with a new part, sometimes 2, just in case, and a fresh theory about the faucet's true inner workings. My mom, wisely, left us to it and retreated to the living room with a bottle of wine. By hour 3, we had amassed enough spare parts to build a small battleship, and the kitchen counter looked like the clearance bin at Home Depot. Dad was muttering about reverse-threaded flux capacitors while I just tried to keep track of which pipe went where. At one point, he seemed to be winning. He got everything connected, twisted the knobs, and, miraculously, water flowed. Well, from 2 different places. Because, as we soon realized, Dad hadn't fixed the leak, he'd somehow managed to install a second, fully functional faucet right next to the first one. So now, our kitchen looks like it's auditioning for a plumbing-themed game show, and Dad insists it's European style. On the bright side, we no longer have to fight over who gets to fill their water bottle first. I guess you could say my dad really tapped into his creative side.